Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the best duo in the world. After a great second half led by Jaylen Brown, Celtics take game 3 against the Dallas Mavericks, 106-99. First, we got to highlight the fact that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are ridiculous as a duo. I think that they should be in those conversations where you talk about the best offensive duos and just best duos that we've ever seen together. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, they are one of the best offensive duos in the NBA and that the NBA has ever seen. But at the end of the day, I feel like that tag was just on them a little bit too early, especially because they haven't done anything together yet. They've had a miraculous run throughout these playoffs, but right now we're seeing that depth matters when it comes to winning championships. And we're seeing the amount of help that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are getting, and we're seeing the lack of help that Luka and Kyrie are having right now. PJ Washington does step up in this game. He has 13 points. He was finally able to hit a couple threes, but it didn't matter because Jason Tatum had his best finals performance maybe that he's ever had. He comes through with 31 points. I mean, he wasn't super efficient, but I like the way that he was attacking the rim. And then shooting the open shots. It was kind of funny that he told the bench at one of the timeouts that he didn't want their guys to settle for step back threes, and he ended up pulling a couple of those throughout this game. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But Xavier Tillman comes in and actually provides some pretty solid minutes. Payne Pritchard comes in and also provides minutes. Sam Hauser comes in with a couple threes. And I think that at the end of the day, their team is just deeper. Jrue Holiday, again, his tenacious defense out there on the court. You really feel his presence out there. Derek White, he wasn't super offensively involved in this one. He didn't really hit too many shots, but he hit the ones that mattered. You always count on him to hit a few clutch buckets. We got to talk about Jaylen Brown because I think that this man is the best player on the Celtics. I think it's safe to say. I know that Jason Tatum, again, he had his best finals game that he's probably ever had. But Jaylen Brown, he controls the pace. He controls what happens on the court. I mean, I know he's not the point guard, but I think for the spot that he plays, I think that he sets the tone for this team. And I think that the energy that he brings to the table, I think that the whole team thrives and feeds off that energy. We see the bench going crazy when other guys are getting involved. And I think just the energy that is spreading across the team, I think that starts with Jaylen Brown. He's setting the tone. The Mavs came in with a late third quarter / fourth quarter surge. To kind of close that gap. It was a 20-point game at one point. They got it down to 3. And then Luka fouls out. Luka fouls out with 27, 6 and 6. And he couldn't do anything but look at his team, watch his team lose that game. Kyrie Irving, his best finals game, 35 points for him. But again, if he's your first option, especially on this Mavs team where there's nobody else that can create a shot other than him, it's going to be a tough game to win. Daniel Gafford, not really involved, 6 points. Really crucial piece of the reason why the Mavs are losing. It was PJ Washington, he comes through, but Derrick Jones Jr., he's finally come down to earth, just 2 points. He was averaging around, 10 to 15 in these past series, and I think that him not showing up is really hurting this team. It just goes to show that he's a product to his system. It's not a bad thing because he is a role player. I think that just says more about how this Dallas team is built. I think it was built to get far deep in the playoffs. They weren't built to win a championship. And I think that we're seeing it right now. Derek Lively, again, he actually has 11 points in this game, but we can just see the rookie growing pains that he's been having to go through so far. Again, they're in a tight spot right now because they can't afford to have these mistakes. Fortunately for him, he is a rookie. He's learning, but in the NBA Finals, it's not really the right place and time to really figure those things out. The bench gives you nothing. Dante Exum, Jalen Green. Yeah, we could just scrap those guys. Tim Hardaway, Jaden Hardy. Again, he's the human white flag. I don't know why Jaden Hardy's out there. At the end of the day, I think that Boston is just 1 through 15, just the best team in the NBA. They've been the best team. We talked about it already. I think that as soon as this roster was built, as soon as Portland sent Jrue Holiday to the Boston Celtics, we already knew that they pretty much punched their ticket to the NBA Finals. Should Joe Cronin get a ring for how he basically played part in this Boston championship? I don't know. He definitely deserves credit, though, because he could have easily kept Jrue Holiday. He could have easily sent him to anywhere else. But, he sent him to the rivals of the Milwaukee Bucks, and it's sparking up conversations. Is Damian Lillard worse than Jrue Holiday now? That's utterly ridiculous. Drew Holiday's a great player. He might even be a fringe Hall of Fame guy, a Tringling guy, but Damian Lillard is out of this world. So that conversation should be scrapped. That conversation should never be had. Like the rebounding, the size, the ability to get your own shot. I think again, that's just the difference between the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks, they need to be spoon fed these buckets from Luka or Kyrie, and the Boston Celtics, they got Derek White, Drew Holiday. They got guys, Peyton Pritchard even. They got guys that have the ability to create their own shot and play make when defense are collapsing on them. And so I think that at the end of the day, Boston will get this done. Obviously, I changed my pick from 6-5 after game 2. I'm gonna say the Dallas Mavericks do take game 4, and then we're looking at a championship celebration from game 5. Luka and Kyrie are going to come out very strong, similar to this game that we just had right here. And I think it's going to be a dogfight in this game 4. They're going to try to make history, but at the end of the day, no one has came back from 3-0, and I don't think it's going to happen in these NBA finals. Dallas is just, they're one piece away, man. I know I seen PG doing NBA countdown with Stephen A and them. The Mavs could really use a player like that going to this offseason, and we'll break down the offseason once the Boston Celtics take this one in 5. I'm Roman. Like and subscribe. Shout out to my dog Wayne holding it down at the LL. Peace.